Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to demonstrate to you how I used this piece of coal and turned it into a plaster rock with a silicone mold that I made from silicone and cornstarch. This video is part of a much longer video that I previously made where I demonstrated how to paint the plaster rock that I made from the silicone mold that I'm showing in this video tutorial. I'll leave a card at the end of this video where you can watch part 2 where I show you how to paint this plaster rock. So this video is only the part where I made the silicone mold. I'm using ordinary clear silicone sealant, but there's no reason why you can't use another color. I'm using an egg tray, the lid of an egg tray, to mix the cornstarch and the silicone sealant. I'm using 250 grams of cornstarch, but I'm leaving some behind in the packet for later use. I'm using 10 squeezes of silicone sealant in total for this whole recipe. Now you need to make sure to keep the silicone covered with cornstarch all the time, otherwise it sticks to your gloves and to the egg tray and it's much more difficult to handle. Just keep on mixing the cornstarch into the silicone. After a while the dough gets too tacky and that's when you use the silicone that was left in the packet. Here I'm picking up the ball and start with the kneading process. Now that the dough is ready, it's time to flatten the piece with your fingers and to spread it over the coal. Put some more cornstarch onto your gloves and it helps to prevent the mold from sticking to your gloves. And what's very important here is to press down as hard as you can on the mold to get all the details from the coal transferred onto your mold. I'm making the edges thicker so they don't tear when I remove the coal. After I left it for about an hour, I test the mold with my fingernails to see if the silicone recovers to its original shape, and then I know it's time to start removing the mold. So here's the mold after I removed the coal, but there are still some bits and pieces left that I need to clean off. This is how it looks after I cleaned it up, and it's perfect in elasticity. But the downside from these silicone molds is that this one I made a couple of months ago. It becomes hard and it loses almost all its elasticity. When I pull the two sides apart, you can see a crack opening up in the middle. The other option you can go for is for silicone molding rubber or latex rubber. To make a longer lasting mold like this, I also use the coal to make the molds. But in this case, the silicone rubber that I used for this mold was about 350 rands, and estimated on the amount of cornstarch and silicone sealer that I used for my mold was about 15 rand opposed to 350 rand for this mold. I'm using ordinary contractor's plaster of Paris, but first I need to determine how much plaster I'm going to use. I pour a cup full of plaster into the mold and it looks sufficient to me. Although you're supposed to put the water in the bowl first, I'm doing it this way around because I need to empty the mold. I used 1 cup of plaster and I'm using just over half a cup of water, so it's slightly more than 2 to 1. There's a reach in the middle of the piece of coal, so I'm swirling the piece around to make sure there's enough plaster in the middle so that the cast won't break on that reach. Now for the exciting part. I left the plaster to cure overnight, and let's see what the final result looks like. I think I can proudly put this piece onto one of my dioramas. Thanks for watching everyone. We'll see you in the next one.